Welcome back. In this final video of the Introduction to the Responsive Design series, we're going to cover the content and footer sections. So let's go ahead and dive into the content section. The first section within the content area is called Colors. Under Colors, we have our title color. Let me scroll back up just for a moment and you can see Design Appearance is currently in this color. And using the color picker, I can select any color I wish and it'll change. I'm just going to leave it as a dark black. You also have the ability to change the font of the title. And again, this is using the exact same system as previously covered in another video. And this is pulling from the Google Fonts library. So that if you want to match your title design to the font in your header, you'll be able to do so. Next we have text color. With the text color, as you make your changes, you'll need to save the page and go to another page of the site in order to see how that text color appears. So for this example, I've actually opened up another window here, and you'll see that on the home page of my site, you'll see that this is that very dark gray color. And if I go back to my text color here, let's just say I wanted to make this black. No change is made on this page until you actually save it. So this is one of those instances where you'll actually need to save your changes and then go back. I actually have to reload this window because it was already being viewed. And now you'll see that it became a black color. For those of you who weren't able to see that, I'm going to make it a much more distinct color now. Let's just make it this dark green color for the moment. Save changes and reload this window, and you'll see now that it's a dark green color for that font color. So again, you'll need to, when you're playing around with your site text colors, you'll need to save the changes as you go and test it out. The next section is talking about the link color. And let me just switch back to the home page here for a moment, and you'll see the link color. What I'm referring to here is, for example, over here under Profile Updates, and you'll see it's this dark blue color. Actually, while I'm here, as I hover over this, this is your active link color as well. And so both of those can be changed in this location. You've got your link color and your active link color. So let's just say, for example, I wanted a dark orange color for my link color, and I wanted a dark red color for my active link color. Remember, you'll need to save changes, and I will go back out and reload this page, and you'll see that the changes were carried through. Okay, the next section down after colors is the section called border. And for the border, what we're talking about is the very thin white line that is currently within this design. I'm going to change that just so that we can easily see it. I'm going to make this a border size of 10. And you can see as I do this, let me just make it 20. You can see as I increase that value, for example, down here next to the footer, you saw that this gap opened up. To further illustrate that, let me just change the border color, and you'll easily see what I'm talking about. So you can increase and play with the border size and make that fit however you would like for your purposes, your particular design. And for my situation, I just would rather keep it at the white 1 pixel border. And the final section under the content area is called buttons. And this is really kind of an advanced feature. Most people will probably just leave the default styles on. However, if you wanted to be able to go in and customize the button styles, there are some options here for you. Your first question is probably, where are each one of these buttons appearing on the site? So kind of to answer that, the primary button, that's going to be kind of a first level button. So to give you an example of a primary button, let me go back to the site here. I'm going to go to the Contact Us page, and you'll see at the bottom of the Contact Us page a send message. Additionally, let me go to the Classmate Profiles page, and let me just click on a profile, and underneath Post a Message to the Class, you'll see Post Message is an example of a primary button. A secondary button would be, for example, this one, Hide Comments. So let me go back here. So this, again, this is the secondary button style. And lastly, we have the alert button style. So for an example of an alert button, let me go back, and I'm just going to go to the Message Center. And on this page, actually on this page, we see examples of the primary, the secondary, as well as the alert. The alert in this case being the delete button for this message. So you're able to customize the way that all of these buttons look from that content area. So let me go back, and I'm going to specify a color here. And in this case, let's just take a look at one of the orange colors. By the way, once you hit a specific threshold in terms of the darkness or lightness of a color, it'll automatically change how this appears. So, for example, on this one, you see that it has a black text showing up on a lighter colored background. In this one, we have white. So let's make this a really light color, and you'll see it automatically changes right within the interface. And let me specify the second one. And the third one, let's just make it black. Alright, so very fall, very Halloween looking here, actually. So let me go ahead and I'm going to save these changes. And let's take a look at how this page turned out. So there we go. We have our primary, our secondary, and our alert buttons set just the way we had them set on the previous page. So, alright, with that I can close out the content section and we'll move on into the footer section. Okay, the first section in the footer area is called background, and this is going to be very familiar. This is the same type of functionality that we've gone over in previous videos. This is obviously regarding the footer area at the bottom of the website. And right away here I can click on transparent if I don't want to have anything there at all, and it'll show right through to whatever the background image is on the site. Or if I want to import an image, I can do so. And let's just choose that leaves option again. Then once again, all of the image placement options will display, and you'll see the image that gets placed in there. And it looks pretty good as that is, so I'm going to leave that. Had I left it blank, I did also have the option to change the color with the background color area here, had I not opted to upload a background image. So if you have seen any of the previous videos, you'll understand everything that is in this section as well. Next we have the colors. Under colors we have the column header, and I'm going to bounce back and forth between colors and columns here for just a second, just so that you understand what these are going to relate to. Under columns we have the ability to add a header and add a link and add an image and a text block. So when I say that you've got a column header color up here under colors, that is the color of the text that will show up as your header for that column. And I've got it currently set to black. And the column header font, once again, this is something that if you wanted to change it to the one that you're using from the Google Font Library, you can do so. And I'm just going to leave mine as the default Lato here. Then text color. I noticed that mine is currently set to kind of a light gray, and it's going to be difficult to read on that background, so I'm just going to move that to black as well. The link color is currently set to white, and the active link color is currently set to white. I'm going to leave those like that just for the moment, and we can move down into the next section so that you can see how those are affected. We can come back up here later on to make changes if we want to. Before we fully dive into the column section, I'm going to briefly touch on the border section. And if I click on show border, this once again will, let me just increase the border size here. This is actually the border between the body and the rest of the page here. It's currently white so you can't see it, so let me just change this, and now you'll see how that shows up. And actually having that border doesn't look too bad. I don't like it quite that large. I'm gonna make it about a 15. And it acts as a nice divide between the footer content area. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that. So that's your border setting. And now we can dive into the columns section. Okay, the first section within the columns settings is called layout. And this is covering the different column options you have for the footer area. So currently it's set to a 1-column layout, and it goes all the way down to a stackable 4-column layout with 2 rows. Now it's important to realize that because this is responsive, that this is going to look a little bit different depending on the resolution. So let's pull this in and let's change this to more of a tablet view or a smaller view here, and we'll see how that looks. It does respond. Once we get down to the mobile option here, you'll see that it actually stacks. So that's just important to realize how that works. And I think what I'll do is configure a 3-column layout. And we can start looking at each one of the individual options for adding to those columns. I'm going to start by adding my headers for each one of these. So let me click on the H here for header under the add to footer section, And I'm going to just type in navigation. And down below, you can see that it already shows, it's asking you, do you want this to be in column 1, column 2, or column 3? And I'm just going to leave this in column 1. And you'll see that that showed up right here. I'll go ahead and I'm going to repeat that exact same process to add 2 more headers. So in column 2, I'm going to add contact info. There we go. And now I'll repeat it for column 3 and add social media. Okay, now that I have all 3 headers in, I'd like to go ahead and add a link. So I'm going to go back up to Add to Footer and click on the Add Link button. And I'm going to type in back to top. And under the link URL, I know that we have an anchor built into this template called top, so I'm going to hit the pound or hashtag sign and top, and be sure that you place that in the proper column here. So I'm going to go back to column 1 and hit save, and you'll see that it's back here, down here at the bottom. And I can test this link right now. Click on it and it'll take me back to the top of the page, which I really like. So that's how you add an anchored link. Let's see, I'm going to go to my Contact Us page. No, I'm not. I'm going to stay on this page. In my other window that I've got open, I'm going to go to Contact Us. And I'm going to copy the URL. And then back at the bottom of this page here, I'm going to go under Contact Info, and I'm going to create my second link. This time I'm just going to say Contact Us. And I'm going to paste that link here. And remember, this is in the second column. So when I hit save, Contact Us link shows up in the middle. And for the third column, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. First, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add an image. And for the image, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a file that I've already uploaded, which is this Facebook logo. And this is a Ping logo with a transparent background, so that the white on the outside should show through to my background here. And I'm going to place that in the third section, and in this case it's asking me for my URL right now, so I'm going to just go ahead and type in http://www.facebook.com. I'm not going to put this to a direct site, but if you have a social media site, if you've got Facebook or any others, you can simply copy and paste that link here. And in this case, I might want that to open in a new window so that you're not taking somebody away from the site and leaving your site behind. This way, it actually opens the new site up in a new window. And I'm going to click Save. And there is my social media link. So now, once you have your columns established, you have the ability to do some changes to them. So for example, if I, within this column, wanted to move the Facebook logo above social media, all I have to do is click and drag and drop. Click, drag, and drop. Additionally, if I wanted to reposition this entire column, I can move this over to the next area and drop it, and it will move. Oops. There we go. So you can configure the columns that way as well. If I want to go in and edit one of these, I actually have to click on the little pencil icon to the left of that particular element. So if I wanted to edit this back to top, or if I wanted to delete it, I can do so by going to that location. Or for example, and this wouldn't be the case for the back to top link, but if you decided that you wanted to make an external link open in a new window, you could click on that edit link and footer icon and click on this checkbox for open in new window. So as you can see, there are a lot of ways to configure the footer area, and it'll be interesting to see what the admins come up with in terms of customizing the footer area for your websites. This has been an exciting new feature that I've been looking forward to sharing with everybody. And with that, let's see, I can close out the footer section and we can conclude this video series on the introduction to the responsive design. Thank you very much.